Today's lesson, we'll talk about an introduction to statistics. But first, let's have a riddle. Where were pencils born? You know, like the pencil you write with. Where were pencils born? Pennsylvania. Get it? Pennsylvania? Okay, anyway. Today we're going to have a few vocabulary words and then we'll do a little practice. So first of all, statistics is a branch of math. That's the main thing to know. We're just going to do a brief overview today. Statistics has three parts. The first part is collecting data. Next, organizing data. And last and probably most important is analyzing that data. So again, those are three parts and usually in that order. Data is actually plural for datum, and it's just a number that gives information. And we'll be going more into detail about what data is. Let's look at a survey. A survey can take many forms, but it's basically just collecting data. And you can do that by maybe one example might be a survey. Well, survey. Let's say an interview is one example. Or maybe a paper. Oh, I'm messing that up. Okay, so an interview, maybe verbally or maybe on paper, maybe a questionnaire might be an example. You might even do a Google form or something like that. Could be lots of ways of collecting data. Okay, population. The main thing I want you to think of is that it's the total. It's everything that you're studying. That you're surveying, studying, analyzing. We'll just say studying. Now, if we want to know what the United States thinks about a certain topic, we're probably most likely not going to talk to everyone in the United States. We'll just talk to a sample or a part of the total population. But in order for this to be a quote unquote good sample, you would want to represent the United States. You wouldn't only want to talk to married women between the ages of 50 and 60. That wouldn't be a good sample. You'd want to represent every single demographic and in proportion. Okay, so we would want all subgroups to be represented proportionately. And proportionate is the key. That would make for the best type of sample. I always think about Costco when I think about samples. It's just a part of the whole, but you want a little bit of everything in order for the sample to be good. All the ingredients would want to be there. Within this, unit, we'll be discussing different ways to organize data. Today, we're going to look at bar graphs, but there are several other ways, and those are just a few. I do want to make sure you know the difference between a bar graph and a histogram, because they can really look the same. They can both have bars or maybe X's or just whatever. So they may both kind of appear to have the bars, but histograms have numbers on both axes, whereas bar graphs have categories on one of the axes and numbers on the other one. Let's create a bar graph for the following grade distribution. Let's make sure that we have a title. That's an important element. So maybe we'll say that these are the grades for period 8, chapter 1 quiz. You want the title, oh, I spelled quiz badly. You want the title to reflect what it's about. You also, besides just a title, you would want important information, maybe like the date or location, to also be represented. So we might note that this is this happened maybe September the 23rd, and we might say it was in room 605. We might even say that this was a FST class at Poly High in Long Beach, California. So you would want to put a lot of information to make the data most relevant. Then we want to list the grades and maybe the number of students, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. This is getting a little crowded, but I think you get the understanding. So 1A, we'd go up to the 3 and do our B column. C, we'd go up to 5. D's, we have 2 D's. And L, 6 F's. Okay, just trying to keep it a little realistic. And then we definitely need to label the axes. So these are the grades. And on this side, we have the number of students. So all of this information would need to be accounted for.